way too much. Can everybody see, if they're printed off the workflow, can everybody see those on the right-hand side of the screen there?
Oh, the workflow, you mean the little... Yes, got that
Yeah,
then.
and it should match up with the document that I sent over.
Like
yeah. So basically what you've got is I've called it I'm going to get rid of it just for now and I'll start right from the beginning. So I'm kind of just going to process. And what you do is you right click in that area and go look at process icons and then load process icons. And then if you do look at this software, I've put this set there called Icon Set 1 Basic. Okay, so you just click that and it would open all those up as a set basically, yeah?
Yeah, got you.
So they just open up there and it'll be ducks in a row type of thing. So there's also an image in the file. I'll open mine now there, which is that.
That's the
butterfly image.
XISF, I assume.
Sorry?
That's the XISF file.
Yes, it is. And that's in the folder as well. That's the folder. So we'll open that up. And you see there, that's opened up. You'll find that it's open two boxes, two files up. The grey one there, can you see in the title, one says grey and one says RGB. The grey one's no use to us. It's not debarred. So you can just throw that one away. And we're working on this RGB. We're one-shot colour camera, yeah?
Yep.
So now I've lined these up and I've numbered them through 1 to 12 just to make it a little bit easy. So they're in sequence. So if we go to the top one and open that up, we've got this little box here. Screen transfer function. They come up with some really peculiar long titles for something that'll stretch an image, basically. So this is
what does the radioactive button do?
that is the one. That's the one. The radioactive button gives it the first initial stretch.
Bang.
Bang. Got it?
Got it.
I think Neil's just joined us, but he's looks like his microphone's on mute. Oh, he's here now.
Evening all.
Evening.
Sorry, I'm live.
Hi,
Can
Neil.
you hear me and see me all right?
Yep. Put you all at the bottom there. That's it. Right. So I'm just wondering whether I just go back a step for Neil's benefit.
So you carry on, Tony. I'll just pick it up.
Are you sure? Yeah. We've just done a first initial stretch anyway, Rocky. So can you see there's a green hue there, which isn't uncommon with this type of imaging. And there's two ways of eradicating that. And if you see, can you see on this dialog box, there's a link there.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So you can turn the link on and off. And basically what it does, it links the color channels together. So if we unstretch it and then stretch it again with the link off, you see it's got rid of the green hue.
Can I just stop you, Tony?
Yes.
I think it's maybe Neil's microphone or speaker who are getting an echo from.
I was going to say I've got a lot of echo.
I think it's your speaker.
Have you got some noise in the background, Neil?
No, there's just a kettle brewing in the background.
I think what it is, Neil, is your volume's loud enough to trigger your microphone to go off. Stop now.
Sorry, Mark. Can you say that again?
All right.
I think if you put yourself on mute, Neil, unless you want to speak, and then we'll
Oh,
see if
right,
that
I've got
works.
you.
Right. That's gone, hasn't it?
Gone now.
Yeah.
Rightio. So going back to this, the green hue. Can you see how that's disappeared now? Yeah, it's got rid of that.
Sorry, could you redo that, Tony? I was distracted.
Okay, so I'm back on. Is it me?
Yes, it's you.
Yeah.
It is me. Okay. What do I do about that?
Can you try turning your volume down?
Yeah, I can do that. Okay.
More.
Still there a bit. Is that okay now? Sounds like
Speak
it
now,
is.
Neil. Neil, are you with us?
Probably can't hear us now.
His video's frozen, so we may have lost him.
He's not moving.
He's got a second instance.
That might be what's causing, actually, if we have two Neils.
But if I kick the other one off,
See what happens.
I should have logged on twice.
I've just got a message come up saying unstable network connection.
anyway, I think it's all right at the moment.
Okay, I'll crack
Johnny,
on.
you were saying about getting rid of the green. Was it the green noise?
Yeah. If there's a link there that links the color channels or unlinks them. So if we unstretch it again and link the channels, can you see the green hue there?
Yeah.
That's not good. So unstretch it, unlink, and stretch. It gets rid of the green hue. Yeah. So that's the first thing. So we've got an initial stretch. That's the main thing there. Then we go to the second icon, the automatic background extractor. Another mouthful, really, but it basically gets rid of the gradients and light pollution, that type of thing. What I'm going to say as well, mainly for time constraints, is that I'm going to use a lot of the default settings. You can see here, there's all sorts of things you can play about. It gives you descriptions. You know, if you hover over the sliders, it gives you descriptions of what they do, what they're supposed to do. But you'll find that defaults are pretty good. There's two buttons here. There's a square one. Can you see there?
Mm.
And there's a triangular one. They both do the same thing. Only the triangular one, you've got to drag it onto your image to execute it, or you can just apply. And I honestly don't know why they do that, you know, but I'm just going to apply it. In fact, I'll go further than that. Can you see the target image correction there at the bottom? I should have opened that up, because what we're doing is we're taking any artifacts or gradients from the image, so we're subtracting. So we need to put this correction onto subtraction. And what it'll do now, it'll give us, we'll apply that, and this will actually just show us in detail what artifacts it's actually taking out. So if I stretch this again, can you see the improvement there in the image?
Yeah.
And if I look at the back box there, it gave me two. And if I stretch this will actually illustrate what it's actually taken out of the image. And can you see the gradients there now?
Yeah.
Well, they're no good to us, so we can get rid of them. We can get rid of that. One thing I would say with Pix is that is its ability to kind of like organize itself. If you're organized, which I'm not, when it comes to filing and things, I'm very messy, to be fair. I need to, that's something I need to improve. But can you see the bar down at the side of the image there?
Yeah.
There's a long title. So if we left click on that, it's called the identifier. And we can shorten that, and you'll see why when we marry up the images later on. And we can call this what we want. It's up to you. It's up to the individual to kind of like come up with their own little system. So just for now, I'm going to call that the master image. Yeah, I'm just going to call that the master. And can you see how it's all shortened that now?
Yep.
And we've just got it called master there, which is great. The back image that I'm not working on at the minute, I'm going to minimize that. And what I do is anything, normally I pop them up there onto the left-hand side, just out of the way, really, basically. So this is the image we're working on. We're going to go forward with this one, yeah? Color calibration next. It basically is all it's doing is it's balancing colors together. And again, you've lots of things here. You know, you can change things, but again, for time constraints mainly, I'm going to apply that.
So is this calibrating based on the star colors, etc., or just producing a nice image?
No, it's calibrating the color channels, to my knowledge, David.
Okay.
And the blend and the you know, the amount of each color.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to unstretch it and stretch it again. We should be getting some sort now. And then the next one is the background neutralization. So this is taking color casts out and the likes. Again, we'll pop that in just as a. So we're getting we're still in linear. So we're still stretching. Well, we haven't stretched it yet. We've got it on the initial stretch still, but we've applied these prior to the main task, the main stretch, which we'll get onto. People have heard of blur. This blur exterminator, I'm going to guess, have they? Have we come across that?
Yes.
It's an algorithm that some far cleverer guys than I am to come up with. So it's deconvolution. It proves sharpness and any optical aberrations, motion blur, that type of thing. There is, when you start getting to these boxes, can you see the little circle there at the bottom next to the apply? You can look at a real-time preview, which it'll open up there. So basically what it's doing is it's applied the default to that. I'll show you. Well, see the little box in a box there, left hand side on this preview image.
Oh yeah, got it.
I'm going to click that, and basically it's going to give me a region of error. A region of interest, which I'm going to open up. Some on the nebula and some on the dark sky. Can you see there?
Yep.
Okay. So this now has, I'll just move that box down. What you can do, you can toggle. I'm going up to the top left hand of this image now. And can you see the circle?
Yep.
That's before. That's after. Can you see that toggling?
Yeah.
Watch the stars. That's before. That's after. So I'm thinking that's quite good, me. But can you see the sharp stars here in the dialog box? And this is one we will just tweak, I think. It's default there at 0.25. And I'm just going to just make it a little bit sharper, the stars. I think we can just, without doing too much damage. Just takes a few seconds just to, yeah. Did you see it move then, anybody? So that's where we're at now. That's before. It's thinking about it, you see now. Okay. That's before. That's after. Now, I think because we're kind of magnified quite a lot there, and they'll look really nice and sharp on the image, to my reckoning anyway. So we can close that box. If we're happy, we can close that box because it's a preview box, yeah?
Yeah.
So now we just apply it to the full image, yeah? Now this will take a couple of minutes, which will probably feel like 2 hours when you're waiting. Everybody got a brew. I'm on my gin again. I'm on my gin again.
Just mention that we've got 4 minutes on this session before it cuts us off. Everybody's got the link to the next session.
Then we move to the other one. Yeah.
Move to the other one. It's £12 a month to have Zoom.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's handy. It'd be nice if it were just a little bit more. Is it 40 minutes, this, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the dialog box here, where it tells you everything in it, it's nice to see everything's green there. Can you see all these things are green? So we're doing something right. It's when it starts going red that you kind of like, you've got to backtrack and find out what you've done wrong. But at the moment, everything's looking good. But at the bottom here, it gives you a percentage of the task. It seems a long time, does it? Like 2 or 3 minutes. But there's a lot of data there. It's doing a lot of work. And I know possibly some might say it's taking too long. It does it a lot faster in such and such, but it does a great job. I've seen some programs, when you do this type of task and it leaves halos around the stars. Has anybody come across that?
Yeah.
And they do look a bit messy when you zoom in.
And they call it pixel peeping.
Do they? Is that what they call it? Or am I doing that?
Pixel peepers.
Yeah.
It's saying I have 3 minutes on my screen here, Mark.
Well, I've only got 2 minutes.
Oh, that's peculiar, isn't it? 3.5 minutes.
Are you in the same time zone over in Yorkshire?
I don't know. I've told you before, though, I have a dual passport. Well, it's a tri-passport. I find myself into Yorkshire and now Cumbria, you see. But it's a tri-passport. Won't need it anyway with the new ID cards, will we? We'll save that one for another day, shall we? Is here.
Good.
Okay. So we've finished the blur exterminator, and again we're doing all this in linear. Some people will kind of do it at different stages, and they have decent results on different types of images. Say for instance, if it were a galaxy, some people might do it a little bit different. This is my workflow that I feel comfortable with.
How do you know whether you're in linear or not in linear?
There's a green line there. Can you see where the master is?
Yeah.
Can you see the green line at the side there?
Yes.
That's in linear.
All right.
Okay. So we've got noise exterminator now, and we're gonna open the real time preview again on this one. And we'll get rid of some of the noise. The image doesn't look too bad at that scale, does it? But it's when you zoom in, it can look pretty horrific, can't they, sometimes? So we're going to do the same again. We've picked up this box in a box thing. And I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to pick up both a little bit of nebula and a little bit of background sky. Can you see that? So it's already applied the default settings. But if I go up again there into the top left-hand corner, can you see there now? We've got noise. That's before, after, before.
By difference, isn't it?
After, yeah, got it. So we can, if we're happy with it, which I'm going to say we're happy again for time constraints, but you've got things here that you can change your denoise ratio to your detail ratio. It's part of the fun of it, to be fair. And you can spend half an hour processing an image, or you can spend 3 or 4 hours, and experiment. Right, so I'm going to apply that now to the full image. These two processes, the blur and noise exterminator, they're probably the longest ones, really. This is a little bit faster than the other one. You can see there it's
not feeling that hell of a right.
Fairly rattling on.
I guess the similar one in Cyril is they have a link to Graxpert.
Yeah.
And also the
I think the equivalent one will probably be the background extraction for the gradient.
Yeah, that's not as good as the Graxpert one, though.
Is it not?
No. Sometimes I use both.
Yeah. Throw everything at it, kitchen sink as well, David.
You got the idea.
I've done it myself, don't worry. And there's nothing to stop you going back and doing another blur extraction if you think it's going to work. I'm going to show you something now that's really, really handy with Pix. And instead of calling them a copy, they call it a clone. So if I go on my master and just drag off there, I've got a copy and a clone. So what I can do is I can minimize that one there, my master. Most things are pretty non-destructive anyway. But if you make a mistake or you lose your way, you can go back, can't you? You can go back easily to your master now. Yeah?
Yeah.
So now we're going to get into the interesting stuff now with the proper stretching and things, and see if we can get some detail out of this thing. So we're going to go into this generalized hyperbolic stretch, which seems to be a popular term nowadays, doesn't it, for stretching? But what you've got to do, first of all, don't forget that we've already got a stretch on there from this thing here, which we need to take off. Right, so we're going to unstretch it. And we don't need this box anymore, because we've done everything we need to there prior to stretching it. Now, I'm going to have to drag you guys just down there a little bit. So, I'm minimizing you. Okay. Can you still see me now?
Yeah.
Oh, I've minimized you because I'm running out of screen. Right, so Can you see here we've got a preview, real-time preview again here?
Yeah.
Which we've got to use. We've got to open that up. We've got to do all this on the preview screen. It's obviously it's black with no data. Can you see the histogram here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't see anything because basically all the data's way over here to the left-hand side. So what we can do, and I think Mark said it's a similar thing to Cyril, where we can magnify it. We can go plus. Can you see the data's come onto the screen now?
Yeah.
And we've just plussed it there. So we've got our data here. If you've a large gap here at the left-hand side of the histogram, you can actually do whilst it's in linear, you could set what they call a symmetry point there. Can you see? I've just clicked it, and there's a yellow line come up.
Yeah.
Anything to the left-hand side of that line is absolutely useless to us. But I'm not going to do it because it doesn't look that bad. But if the histogram had been somewhere over here, we'd have been putting a symmetry point there, and we'd have been executing it, basically to get rid of the rubbish data that we don't want, the useless data that we don't need. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my symmetry line in the center there. So basically, it's going to take it's going to take an average of all the data there, light, dark, red, green, blue, and I'm going to press the send. Can you see the send to SP there?
Yep. I'm
going to send that, and it should have altered these numbers there. Can you see that?
Yep.
3, 2, 4 there. If I reset it, that goes back to 0, yeah. So I'll just repeat it. I'll put my symmetry point in, send it down there, and it's nearly the same. I nearly got it in the same place. It's 328. So then we're ready to stretch. Can you see the stretch factors here on this top line, this top slider? So we're going to give it a good old stretch now. Can you see the number change there? It's 7.73 at the minute. I normally find that anything between 6, anything between 5 and 8, really. But it's a feel good. It's what you think's going to be right. If you overstretch it a little bit, can you see I've got you might say it's a little bit bright there as it is, the background. But what we can do is we can move this symmetry point. Can you see the bottom slider here where it says adjust parameter?
Yeah.
We're only interested in the symmetry point at the moment. So this is the fine adjustment. And what we can do is we can just ease that down. Can you see the background now? Just nicely coming into what you might call a better tone. Yeah?
Yep.
You're happy with that? So then we've got to execute it. Can you see the S-curve there?
Yeah.
By moving the symmetry point, it's given us that little S-curve. And that's what we're looking for, basically. Normally, that's what everybody talks about when they're talking about stretching images. So I'm going to execute that, the square box. And it'll go white. It's gone off the scale because it's still got the stretches in that we've put on. So we've just got to reset it. The right-hand button at the bottom. And we're back to real time, basically. Real-time preview. But what we can do now, because we plussed it on the histogram, we can come back down to 1. And we've got our data there. It's nicely over to the left-hand side. You can see that, can't you? I'd say that was a decent histogram, mate. What I do at this stage is we can get rid of the real time. We'll just close this for now. And we're in non-linear now. Can you see the green line's gone, Julian?
Oh yeah, yeah.
From there. So it tells us now we're working on an image now that we can save and things like that. But what I do at this stage, after that first stretch, is I take the stars out. Because if I'm doing any more manipulation like saturation or changing colours and things like that, or I don't really want to do them to start stars, do I? You know what I mean? So I'm going to go on to this star exterminator. There's generate star image there, which is what I need to tick. And then again, apply. That'll produce a star image quite quickly. It says when it's only got up to 5%. We can do another stretch on the stars. You know, if we're not happy with the brightness, we can do a separate stretch on the stars just for luminance. And then when we reintroduce them later on, we're not getting any funny coloured stars, basically.
While we're waiting, can we just be thinking about what we want to do next time we meet?
Yeah, is anybody fancying a go at this? Does anybody get the urge to have a go with this software?
I'll certainly be having a go at it.
Everything's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm quite interested.
So next time, what we could do is review what we've done.
Yeah, see if there's any.
Yep.
If there's something that I'm going to touch on, kind of thing, today. But if people like it, we can talk about how they've gone on with it. But I'll not be going into masking off today because I haven't got time. But if we wanted to, at some other stage, we could look at masking off and different techniques then to get better images.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've got our star image there. I'm going to rename it. Can you remember this box here, this identifier? And I'm simply going to call it mass stars, something really easy. You see my stars there? So what I can do now, I can just put that out of the way, just minimize it. Anything that I'm working on, I've just got into a routine that I put it up to the top of the right-hand side there, and I just don't lose them. So anything that I might need to go back to, if I lose anything, are over here. My working documents are over this side. So we've got a starless image. So we can go and we can do some more stretching if we want. You've got to open the preview, don't forget that. If we were doing a mask, you see, can you see the sky at the back? And
yeah,
I when I first started imaging, I always thought I had to have a jet black sky, and I quickly realised that I was doing myself and the image an injustice because there's a lot of luminosity around the main nebula, and it looks false when it's jet black. To my liking, anyway, it's a preference, but when they're jet black, they don't look realistic. So that's when I started experimenting with masking off. So I'll very, very, very briefly go through it because I think we're all right for time, Martin, aren't we?
Yep.
If I were doing a mask for this, it's called a luminance mask. I want to close that just for now. This is my image that I'm working on, and it's extracting the luminance. It says there, and what it does, it produces a mask. Can you see that there?
Mm-hmm.
So it's got the luminance. Identifier. I'm going to call it something really complicated like Pixinsight does, and I'm going to call it mask. Keep it simple. So what I do then is to apply the mask to my image, I'm going to drag the title there. Can you see there? And I'm going to place it on the bar on my main image. Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to minimize that now. You can't get rid of these things because they're working documents, so you can minimize them. So I've got a mask on there and it looks horrendous, doesn't it, a minute? I go up to the top there and you can see my mask there. And I can show my mask. I can take the mask off so I can't see it, and then I can work on my image, but the mask's still there. But I can invert the mask as well. See that? Invert there.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. I've got to show the mask first, sorry. So the mask, we're looking at the mask, and I'll invert it now. Can you see how it's inverted it? And a quick explanation on that. The red area is protected. So where it's a darker red, that's actually going to protect that area. So at the moment, if I do any work on the background, you know, the dark sky, it's going to protect the nebula. So if I start stretching things again, rather than stretch and make the nebula darker, I don't really want to do that, do I? I just want to concentrate on the sky, and vice versa. So if I inverted it again there, so it's that would be protecting my sky. So then I'd be able to stretch the nebula a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 Yep.
But for now, we're not going to go on mass, but we can expand on that next time if people are interested in that.
Mm.
So I'm going to just unshow the mask. I'm going to remove the mask now anyway. So like I said, we've not really time for that tonight. Remove the mask, and I can get rid of that. It's prompting me, you know, saying basically, be careful. Do you really want to do that? So I do. So we'll go back into stretching, and we'll do a second stretch on this image. So the preview screen again. We can go maybe a bit darker. If I had my mask on, I'd be juggling between the mask and between altering the sky and the nebula, and I'd juggle between the masks to protect the areas that I weren't working on. Yeah, but for now, we can still do a similar thing because we can set a symmetry point over here somewhere. Send the symmetry point down there and do a stretch. And can you see there? I just need a tiny stretch there. And can you see my sky darkening there?
Yeah.
And it's a very fine line, really. You don't want to take too much out your nebula, but you want to sensibly pull the sky. And I don't think that's too bad for that stretch. We'll apply that. Can you see? Can you see how it's gone darker again because it's doubled up on what I've got there in my panel?
Yeah.
So we've got to reset. That's representative now. When you reset, that's representative of the image that you're working on. If we wanted oh, by the way, you can actually click on your image to set your symmetry as well. I'm just going to work on here. I'm going to work a little bit, maybe right there. Not like this, just mine. Yeah, it's got a few other highlights and shadows there. Then I'm going to go for that, but I'm going to go back to the dark, back to my dark sky. Just apply that. You can tinker about this with these for ages. You probably don't say them yourselves, I'm going to guess. I'm going to go way over here.
I'm guessing if you tick that invert button where it's got the stretches, that would unstretch.
Oh, you do. Yeah, it goes opposite way, doesn't it?
Yeah. So if you've overstretched it, you can.
You've got a recovery.
Yeah.
A recovery plan, haven't you? Yeah. For now, I'm gonna close that box, and we're going to work on that image there. What do you think? There's some nice detail there. I think there's some decent detail. It were only 3 hours. This I were really upset. I think I made a note of it, didn't I? My blooming Jew, my Jew eater packed in after 3 hours. I'd have got probably about 6 or 7 hours that night. Anyway, such is life. What we've got now also, Martin, you came up with something other day on our group saying when is it false colour, and we talked about it again on Monday, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I don't know what people think of it. You know, is it art? Is it false? There's some guys that have come up with some really clever ways of changing the colour channels and changing them in a manner where they're coming up with the colours of the gases basically, instead of the RGB. They're coming up with the palettes of the hydrogen alpha and O3 and S2, and they're combining them. There's a guy called Bill Banshan, I think it is. And he's come up with this thing here called colour normalization. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do another clone. I'm going to rename that first of all. I'm going to put HA for hydrogen alpha, yeah? Because that's the dominant colour and gases in this nebula, really. But if we look at this box here, and if we look there, there's a palette, these palettes, and he's got HOO, which is the one he recommends for one-shot colour. And then you've got your SHO. I think everybody's come across that at some stage, haven't they? The Shoe palette. Is it a Hubble palette it's called, I think?
Hubble palette, yeah.
Yeah. Then you've got your HSO, and your HOS. And depending on which nebula you're imaging and what gases are in there, they'll all have, they'll all have a purpose and a use and help you get a really nice image. Basically, what they're doing is they're changing the red channel on the HOO. They're changing the red channel to hydrogen alpha, and the green, the green and blue to the O3s. But they're using different levels basically. Say for instance, each colour were called 100%. They might leave the HA, and I don't know this for sure. You can go on and looking at the algorithms, and you can look at the way they've done it. And I'll be honest with you, it's a little bit above my pay grade. That I just leave it up to the clever guys. But they might say use 60% of the O3 on the green channel and 60% on the blue channel, and they'll come up with this algorithm that gives you HOO. Same as the SHO. And they've done this with some expertise. They haven't just kind of like done something, as Martin might say, do you want me to give the cranes to the granddaughter and let her have a go at it? They've done it with some science, I think. So let's open that up anyway and see what it does. We're going to select the HOO, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to do a clone there, and I'm going to do it HOO on the clone, and voila, we've got something that's resembling close to Hubble, I'd say. Close to shoot palette, but HOO. And that's only because we're using a one-shot color camera. If you're using, you use filters, don't you, Mark?
Yeah, I use narrowband filters.
Yeah, so
well,
you might do something. If I were doing it that way and learning the filters system, I'd probably do it at the same time. For a start, I'd probably do the same amount of time for each filter. Say 2 hours of filter or whatever's available. What you think might be clear skies, but then you can still manipulate them with these palettes. The lightness there you can see. And if you look at the image, just keep an eye on the image. At the moment, the lightness is set to off. You can preserve it, which is not great, is it? But what makes these features pop is the HA lightness. Can you see now how that's really popped? In fact, I'm going to just go down to my region of interest there, and I'm going to select an area there, and we'll go back to these, and we'll go off. Just keep your eye on the shadows and the that's preserved. That's not good, is it? But this HA really makes these one-shot color. Pop. The O2, O3 rather. That's no good, is it? Right. So there's all sorts. You choose your lightness. You would go to your models then, or your mode rather, and what they've done in the modes. Let me just choose. That's mode 1. Mode 2. And it's the different balances of each colour or each gas, what they've simulated. So they might have put a different percentage of the, O in the O3 in the green channel, and a different percentage in the, to come out to come up with these modes. So again, it's a preference. I'm going to just going to come out of that now, and then we can see the full. You can get a better idea. You can see the preferences then for these modes and the mix of the different channels. And again, there is some science around it, but it's a preference thing as well. It's what you want. It's your image. It's you've got the data. You've collected the data, and there's a reason why. The change in these colours. It's to bring the different gases out. So, which one are we going for, guys? Who thinks mode 2 for this exercise anyway? Because what I'll do is I'll go through the full process and save the image that we've created today. What's the general feeling? That's number 3.
Number 3 for me.
Great. I'll do them again. That's 1.
Yeah, 3, I think.
2.
2's a bit boring.
3.
Yeah, 3.
3.
Yeah,
Keeping 3. So now you've got this blend mode as well. You see there? Don't like it. It was nice in the middle, weren't it? As it were, I think. And you've got this O3 boost, which is predominantly, if you look, it's called HOO, so it's the O3 that it's gonna boost if we want it to. And again,
I really like that tool.
I'm going to apply that. Okay. And then I can get rid of that, because don't forget again, it's reapplied it again because we've, we can go back to, that's our image there. Okay. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
You like that? Okay. So we'll come out of that now. There's one other thing we can do. You can go back into the hyperbolic stretch, and there are other features that you can use. I'll just do a real-time view again. You see your RGB here, which we were using, weren't we, before, because we were working on RGB colour app. But if you go into here now, you can manipulate your individual colours again. You know what we spoke about with Cyril last time?
Yeah.
Where you can select your individual colour channels. But now we've already changed it in a way. We've already changed the red, green, and blue channels into gases, if you'd have your way, because of the clever guys doing the algorithms. Do you get it?
Yeah.
But we could go into the red channel. We could set it in the middle of the red peak there. Send it to the symmetry point, and we could give it a little bit of a tweak on red if we wanted. Look, can you see? I'll over exaggerate it. Look, see? But what we want is maybe, again, it's a preference thing, isn't it? But we could give it a tiny bit of red, just to bring a little bit more of that hydrogen Alpha out. Yeah. Who's up for that? Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
I think you're going to be cut off in a few minutes.
You know, if you do have a go with this, I should have maybe mentioned it. You know, the add-ons. You know, the blur exterminator, noise exterminator,
Yeah.
and this color normalization. I have actually put links on the Excel document for these, but you've got to upload them. It won't be alien to, I don't think. You know, you've got to put them into what they call a repository.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then basically just click yes and then restart your machine. But there are you know, YouTube's a fabulous tool, isn't it, for, you know, for learning. There's very, you know, if you just put you know, Pixinsight uploading scripts type of thing, it comes up with with how to do it. Hi Neil.
Hi, sorry.
Hi Julian.
Oh, hi, Tony.
You know, we're all here, oh yeah.
Yeah. Can I just ask one question before I forget?
Yeah.
Because I did have a go with it yesterday.
Right.
I couldn't work out how to crop an image.
Right, I'm glad you said that, because I've got the
Found
crop
something
tool
called
here.
dynamic crop. Is
Yeah,
that it?
it's
All
there,
right.
look. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you can do is I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just rename this.
Well, no, you carry on your own
No,
route.
I'll just name it anyway. And I'm going to call this HOO. And then we know where we're up to when we're selecting things to blend. Yeah. If I do I'll do another clone of that now, you see. So if you just open the crop tool up there, and then if you get your cursor, can you see the cursor turn into a little box there?
Yeah.
On the corner. Can you see how it's got two handles come to the outside when I'm really bang on the corner?
Yeah.
It's got one handle there when I'm just going up and down. Look, see?
Yeah.
If I'm in the corner there, it gets two little handles, doesn't it? You see that?
Yep.
So I can manipulate it like most crop tools. You can set your own parameters, and then you can go to the center, pull it over the area that you want to crop there. And then if you just go to little tick box again there and execute it, we're going to say yes, because it thinks I'm doing something on my main image, you see. And
Right.
that's cropped it. And then we'd just go in there to zoom 1:1. You know, I think that's it there, the fit.
Right, got that. Spent half an hour looking
That's
for
it.
that.
That's it there, isn't it? That's the crop bit there. I thought I'd got rid of my image then for a minute. I was panicking. So that's my crop bit, isn't it? That's my crop piece, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you happy with that?
Yep.
I'll pop that over there. So I'm not using it. It's quite straightforward, Mark.
Yeah.
And what I do, you probably saw me then, instead of trying to crop it here and messing about, if you just drag the box a little bit so you can actually get into the corners there, you know, with your crop tool when you use it. Yeah. So this is our image that we're working on now, is it? I'm going to do a clone anyway. So we're going to reintroduce images, or we're going to the images, the stars there. We can open that up again now, and we can actually, if we think that, if we're not just happy with them, I'm going to give them a little stretch. To be fair, so I've opened my preview up. I'm going to bring the histogram somewhere into view there, and pick a symmetry point. This won't take much. I'm going to apply that. And it's just giving me a little bit more, just stretch them a little bit more. You can also, as in most programs, you can actually reduce the stars as well. To be honest with you, I think, I don't think it needs reducing, but there's a I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to go on to this before we do anything like that with the stars. Now we're going to go on to this curves adjustment. Now this is similar to stretching and things, but it's a little bit finer. Some people say it's a little bit easier to control than stretching. They call it curves transformation. And it basically manipulates the luminance channels, contrast, saturation again, and individual color channels. It's very similar to stretching, but it's more forgiving, I think. We'll do a real-time preview again. You've not got to forget that each time, or else you just get lost. Your image isn't doing anything, and you wonder what you're doing wrong. So if you look on here, you've got your individual channels. You've got red, green, blue. If you want to do individuals, you've got your RGB there if you want to stretch everything, manipulate everything. These here, those three there, four even, I don't know what they are. They have little effect to me. The luminance one there, I tell a lie, there's a luminance one there. This end one is your saturation. Hue. CIE component. Is anybody familiar with that? I use it for individual channels, the RGB and the saturation, the hue mainly. Say, for instance, we'll go on the saturation. It does normally for the nebula, you'd be somewhere up here in right-hand corner. Can you see? I'll go overboard again with saturation. But you're more in this quadrant up here to get some nice effect on saturation. There, a little S curve again, because we're going to bring the background down, because we don't want to. Nice gentle curve now. We'll execute it and reset it. And again, if you wanted to, we did a little bit of the red, didn't we, on the so if we go for a bit of the blue, which would be equivalent to all three, I think. And again, most of everything's going to be up there in this top right-hand corner when you're doing it. That's far too blue, isn't it? We don't want a blue background. In fact, to be fair, I'm just more showing you these than executing them. I don't think we're going to, for me, for my taste, I don't think it needs any more blue in it. In fact, probably looks a bit better with some of it taken out, doesn't it? but you can really get it. Have you been there some nights, you know, and tinkering about, and you know, you can spend hours doing this if you're that way out. Call it. So that one's more for fine adjustments and things. It's a lot easier, a lot more forgiving when you're making the adjustments rather than a stretch. It's like I said, it's a lot more forgiving. I'm going to come out of that now. It's a very similar image, to be fair. I don't know what we've, you know, I don't know what we've. It were more to show you, but I don't think the image has changed that much, has it?
No,
Tiny bit. Tiny bit round there. But if we, you know, I'm just trying to do 3 images just to show you, so we can probably go back into this. I'm going to leave it in the HOO. We're going to go for the, and we'll just make an image up. Say we've done something different, just so we've got 3 images. We'll leave it on one. Blend them out. More of a mono image, that, isn't it? Really. Yeah. Because we've already worked on the image previously, you know, on all the alterations and things that we did in the HOO. We're getting something different now. I don't like it, but I'm just gonna do it. So I wanted 3 images, you see.
Right.
So we've executed that. We're just going to call that it's like a double HOO, just so that we can identify them. So with 3 images now, anyway, I think that probably will make us minds up when we add the stars back in. Okay. I'm going to pop them. I'm just going to minimize them and just pop them down here. These 2. We'll work on the hydrogen alpha one first. So they call it pixel math in Pixinsight. You know, when you're reintroducing or combining images, you can even, you know, everything that I've shown you with this color normalization, you can actually do that yourself by splitting the channels. So if there's an icon there saying, can you see that split RGB channels?
Yep.
So if I clicked on that, it'll give me 3 channels there, and it's split them up, right? So it's given me a R. Can you see R? R is the back one there, yeah. R. Little G. G. B. So it split the channels up for me. What you can do in Pixinsight is you can actually do what these guys have done with this color normalization, and you can actually blend your own channels. So say, just for instance, we selected mode number 3, didn't we? You know, for the image that we like.
Yeah.
And mode number 3 were, if we roughly say, if we went in percentages, it were 100% of the red channel in HA. It were 100% in the blue channel of all 3, and then the green channel was split into HA and all 3. to make up. But what you can do is you can actually come up with your own combinations by manipulating each channel. I just thought I'd mention that. We're not going to do it tonight. I've even forgotten how to do it because I'm lazy and I use these guys. But the facility is there to make your own script if you're that way out. Okay.
Good.
So we're going to go to Pixel Math, which is this thing here. Quite straightforward. You've got a what they call the expression editor, which brings up all the images there. Everything that we've got here, up and down, you can see there, and this is why we keep a close eye on things and rename them. Can you see them there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the images, they're all the images that we've got on the screen at the moment. So I've got the anyway, we're going to go for the HA first, which is our first image, the hydrogen alpha. I'm going to double click on that because we're going to use that image. Quite simple. We're just going to do a plus sign next to it. And then we're going to double click on the stars because that's what we want to mix, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to press OK. And then we come down to the destination. We're not going to change anything again, apart from we're going to create a new image. Basically, we're going to create a new image because we're going to save it. We're going to save the starless image. That's a choice thing. If we left that out and just replaced it, it'd just put the star straight onto that image. But we're going to create a new image and we'll execute it. And there you go. That's our new combined image with the stars.
Very good.
Excellent.
That's the centre of the North. What's that star called? The North Cross. That it's come out quite good, hasn't it? Really. What is it called? I've forgotten. Is it Sadar? Something like that. SADR. How do you pronounce it?
No idea.
Yeah. But it's not come out bad, has it? That. So I'm gonna try and get myself organised here. That's my
Image 15.
wait a minute. Yeah, this is the thing. When you produce an a new image like that, it randomly names them. So what we could do is we could put the identifier again on there, and we could put what were we on? Were we on master? Yeah, we were on master, weren't we? Master HA.
With stars?
Stars. Yeah. Happy with that?
Yep.
And we know what it is. Okay. We'll minimize that. And we'll minimize that. This is the one that we liked when we'd it's just the single HOO, isn't it? So what we could do is we could go into the editor again and we could just really just go, if we wanted to, we could just we could just double click that and OK. We're already set up here for creating a new image. So we'll just add stars to that then, won't it? Okay.
Good.
We'll call that then master. I don't like this. It's not an image I'd keep. I just wanted to do three. I just wanted to do 3 different images. Rush, but it's blown out, isn't it? You can see there. I'm not bothered about finishing that off, guys. Are you?
No.
Unless you want. Do you want me to go through that again anyway, just to into the because it's important. It's a great tool, is it?
Got one question with your functions you're adding there.
Yeah.
Are there any other functions that would work when you are manipulating 2 images together?
Yeah, there is, but
is that for another day?
It is really, and it comes into play when you're actually manipulating your colours. You know, when we split the channels before, well, you've got to do an equation, and you've got to do a bit of multiplication.
Yeah.
You know, with you might have 20% of a red channel against 80% of a green channel. You know, and then when you merge them together, you come up with your own planning, your own algorithm and arithmetic to come up with your own palettes in a way. You know, your own color palettes.
You could do that. Hey, you could do 50% master HA and 50% master Who or something plus star.
Yeah, that's right. And you can save them. You can actually, when you come up with these things, you can actually save them, so you don't need to. You know, if you come up with something that you find you've got that eureka moment, and you've come up with something really good, you don't need to repeat it. You can save your formulas and things. But mainly for that. But when you're just combining 2 images, it's just a plus. You just plus in one with another, or 2 or 3 images you might want to do for some reason. So I'll just do it lazy way. It's the double. It's the Who one, isn't it? This we don't like it. So it's a good job we called it Who, isn't it? So it's a ha. Oops. Yeah, there we go. So I'll just show you there. I'm not going to create a new image on this one. I'm going to replace the image. So, and then just apply it. And what it'll do basically, it'll just transfer onto that image, yeah? Like that.
Yeah.
So there we have our 3 images with stars.
So a lot of the value in the Pixinsight is actually in the scripts that you can get for it.
I think so, and also the way you can use Pixinsight and then Pixel Math to actually formulate your own.
Well, Cyril has Pixel Math. I've just not played with it, so you can do the same sort of thing with Cyril. It's all the scripts and other pieces of work that have been put into it by various people that seem to really give it its value.
That's why I say, and you know, these guys that do the scripts, they're above my knowledge and pay grade, and thank goodness they're out there sometimes. But you know, yeah, I like it, but I also like what I saw with Cyril. You know, for a free piece of software. And most of it, from what I can see with scripts that you use, you know, there's none that you've had to buy, I don't think, is there?
No, I've not paid anything on the base.
No. Well, again, all I would say is with this Pixinsight, you use because I'll show you one thing. You see, why I chose just a small amount of workflow icons. If you go up to processes. They're all your icons there.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and you can do a lot more than I've shown you today. You know, it's mind blowing, really, especially when you start experimenting with masks and things. That's a fabulous tool. You know, just say for instance, you know, M42, Orion Nebula. I don't think I've seen anybody image it without blowing out the core and having to, you know, unless you go on to really short and a lot of frames of, like, you know, 45-second exposures. Most people get a blown out core on that. Well, by producing a mask and actually feathering it, you're producing a mask, but you're actually going to concentrate it on core. But you can use like a smoothness, so as it doesn't, you can't tell that you've used a mask and you've manipulated basic that core, you know, to get the detail out. Because I think there's some stars right in the middle of that. I've forgotten what they call them, but there's 3 or 4 stars. You know, in the centre. Sorry, Dave.
The trapezium ones, are they
That's
called?
the one. Them's them. Yeah. And there's a lot of images that you simply can't see those for that reason.
Yeah, I've seen that as an idea before, to effectively do 2 sets of processing. One just focusing on the core, one focusing on the nebula, and then, as you say, use masking to bring the 2 together.
Yeah.
I've not done it yet, but I've seen the idea.
The other one that it's useful for as well is Andromeda. You know, because if you do, you know, that core, the core of that Andromeda's can be a bit challenging, can't it? As well. So you can use it to mask the center of that and get a better looking image. But yeah, has that been interesting? Has it been any good?
Yes, very useful. Thank you.
Yes, very excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Yes.
No worries. What I'll do is I'm saving images, of course. You know, everybody. It's pretty straightforward. And you're going into a save as. Mine's highlighted with the image that which one are we going to save and put in the group one? Are we should put that there?
That one.
This one that we liked.
Yeah.
So when you're saving, if I'm saving for social media, I'll just save a JPEG. But I normally save a TIFF file as well, because it's obviously it's keeping all its data. If you want to work on it again, so I will save both, and I'll just rename that yet again, JPEG, and it's going to go into. I better just not lose it now. Pix present. That looks promising, doesn't it? So I'll save that JPEG. These are only warnings. And I'll also save it. I'll also save it as a TIFF file as well. If anybody else wants to play with it again, they can do, can't they? Should do it. You can also, what you can do is you can, if you look at my file there, if I come down, you can save the project. Look.
Yeah.
So if you, you know, if you say it'll be pretty much same, I guess, with most softwares. You can save it and you can go back to it, you know, that type of thing. Has anybody heard of Topaz?
Yeah.
Well, Topaz, has anybody heard of Affinity? I use Affinity, which is similar to Photoshop, and I've got a plug-in. I've got Topaz plugged into that. So again, some people like to use that little bit extra. I found that it's fantastic is affinity for removing haze. But also sometimes I might not be too happy with the sharpness, so I can get a little bit more detail using Topaz. But it's all a preference. It's all part of your overall workflow, isn't it? When you produce that final image. So yeah, but I'm not going to save anything there, guys. I'll post the file will be too big, to be honest with you, to put on. We're running out of space, Mark.
Are we?
Yeah, it's already warning us out, so we're getting on space.
So it's no good me at the moment saving that project there for people to have a tinker with. Like I said, there'll be a lot of data there. But I'll put the images in the folder that we've just produced tonight, and then good luck, have a go.
That's the homework.
Time for a test license of Pixinsight, I guess.
Yeah, I think you get 45 days, don't you now?
Yeah.
I think it might have been upped. But when I did it, I think it was 30.
Well, he wants you to learn to use it and love it, so then you'll buy it.
Well, the thing is, that is it. It's something you get used to. It's something I'm always looking for that in this lot here, in all them. I'm thinking if I get stuck with a particular area, there's bound to be something there that's going to help me. But a lot of them also, they do repeat themselves. You find that they do the similar, they do a similar task. There's a few of them that overlap each other.
That's been great, Tony. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thanks very much.
When you mark our homework, please mark generously.
Let me know how you're going. Hey, listen, just drop me a line or anything like that. Anybody, if you get a tiny bit stuck or anything, I might not answer you straight away, but I'm normally not too far away. Yeah,
that's good.
Okay, guys.
So next time we're doing a review of how we've got on.
We'll review how we've got on, and then we'll look at, if you wish, we could have a little dive into the masks a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Does that sound okay? Right, guys.
Thanks.
Right.
I will bid you good night.